It's Queensryche right here on your classic metal show with the Thin Line live. And speaking of Queensryche,
yes,
I guess the new singer of Queensryche, Todd La Torre, has officially
please, of the fake Queensryche.
Oh, okay.
Let's not offend our friend, the real Jeff Tate.
Right.
Please.
Well, I see that singer Todd La Torre officially tenured his resignation for Crimson Glory.
Oh man, that's terrible. With all the records that they've been putting out. Never mind.
Well, I guess he just never really got started with Crimson Glory.
No, I know he did some shows, but I don't think he recorded anything, did he?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because this whole Queensryche thing kind of came up, right when he was getting into the thick of it, and I think it kind of took him away. And plus, I don't think Crimson Glory does that many live shows. They usually do those one-offs for like those prog festivals
or whatever,
yeah,
right.
Stuff like that. But they really haven't done a whole lot.
No, except drank their singers to death, and didn't they have one singer that drank himself to death, another that went to jail?
Yeah, Wade Black.
Wade Black, he did some jail time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He did jail time, I believe, and I know Midnight is doing ground time now.
Right, he's taking a dirt nap.
Yes, he is. He's resting comfortably in 6 feet of dirt.
Sure.
I better not say that, though. I don't want to offend.
Right. But back when Crimson Glory at the time was not an entity, the lead guitarist, Jackson, what's his name?
Oh, Ben Jackson.
Ben Jackson. He had his own band called the Ben Jackson Group.
Yeah, I like that record.
And we had him here on the Classic Metal Show when he was promoting that, what was it, 8 years ago?
Long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
It was.
But, that's a shame because that is one band that I do like, for the limited releases that they've had. How many CDs do they have, like 4?
4 or 5. I mean, not many. There's something about sharks, and there's Astronomica, and that's as many as I know.
So I think they only have like 4.
Yeah, probably 4.
They had that, they had the one with Wade Black, and then they were going to re-record it.
Right.
With Midnight, I guess.
Yeah, but he was too busy painting a house or something, couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, and then he got pulled over for DUI or something.
Yeah, had to do a little time for that.
And then he, took a dirt nap, and he hasn't woken up since.
You were correct, sir. They did 4 albums, Crimson Glory in 86, Transidence in 88, Strange and Beautiful in 91, and Astronomica in 99, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 singles and an EP.
Right.
Worlds in 2000.
Sure. So that was a band that just never really, was consistent.
Yeah. It's interesting, though. Todd La Torre is already in the former members part on Wikipedia.
I like that.
Wikipedia, dude. That is fucking hilarious how quick people... It's like the minute somebody hears something, it's up.
Well, veering away from this story for just a second.
Yeah.
You were led to believe this week that Blackie Lawless was killed in a car wreck.
Yeah, I actually got it from, a friend of both of ours. I don't want to sell him out, but a friend of both of ours who works in radio got a call from his, station manager or something asking him if he had heard that Blackie Lawless was killed.
Right.
And we looked it up online, and we found the story, and I told you, and you looked it up, and an hour or two into reading it, you figured out that it was bullshit.
Well, it wasn't even that long. It was maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Was it? I didn't look at all. When I got the call, or when I was told, I was in my car. So I just did a quick Google, Blackie Lawless dead. I found an article. It was dated on the 7th, which was the day, the right day.
Right.
I was like, all right, well, there must be something to this. So I called you or texted you.
You text me, and I'm just like, really? It's like, wow. So of course, I looked it up immediately, and the more I dug into it, the more... it was out there that it was a hoax.
Right.
And it's been circulating around since October.
Right. But your first clue that it was a hoax was that it wasn't updated on Wikipedia.
Yeah, that was my first clue. Because I went to Wikipedia, and I know how fast people are about going to update those things.
Oh, crazy fast.
And I text you back just sort of a joke. I said, hurry up and update his Wikipedia page. Nobody's done it yet, you know?
Right.
But then I thought, okay, wait a minute here. Something's not right.
Right. If Wikipedia doesn't have it, then it couldn't be real.
Right. So anyway, getting back to Todd La Torre, I guess they said that he joined Queensryche in June of 2012 as a replacement for Jeff Tate.
Okay. I don't know that I'm going to... How could you replace the great Jeff Tate?
Right.
Please.
He had become an official member of Crimson Glory in April of 2010, so he was just in it for 2 years.
Right.
And then he had played a number of shows with the band, and that's it. He just basically played some live shows.
Okay.
And now he's a singer in a version of Queensryche.
Right. The lesser version. That's I will refer to it as the less important version of Queensryche. I stand with our correspondent Jeff Tate.
Right.
Please.
Now,
yes.
When this version of Queensryche gets rolling and they maybe come through Cleveland, will you go see them?
Absolutely not. I would be appalled to see any version of Queensryche except the Jeff Tate version. Of course I'll be there.
You know what would be a real kick in the head?
What?
If DeGarmo decided he wanted to come back.
Oh, and did their version?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
Or even if he did like a one-off, like the first show that they do in like Seattle or something.
Yeah, exactly. And joining us on stage, Chris DeGarmo.
Right. We're gonna put the full lineup together.
Right.
The full lineup without Jeff.
Right. Well, isn't that basically what happened without Janie Lane and Warrant?
Yeah.
The full lineup got back together except for Janie.
Yeah, and people accepted it.
Right.
Well, one person did.
And then the replacement singer got replaced by Janie, and that lasted all of 6 shows or something.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that.
Yeah, and then Janie was back out and soon to be dead.
Right. And then our good friend Robert Mason was in.
Yeah. That's gonna be a scary gig to jump into too. Oof. A lot of bad history there.
Sure. But, the most popular lineup of Warrant is still out there with Robert Mason.
Yeah, and probably a better band for it.
Yeah.
Not that Janie was a bad performer, although certainly he did his share of bad shows toward the middle to the end of his career, but he was a good performer, but Mason is dead on every night.
Sure.
He's a fucking pro.
Now, speaking of this lineup of Queensryche with Todd La Torre, what is your anticipation? What do you want to call
the album?
Product-wise, when they get around to recording.
Well, they are recording. Mm-hmm. They're already in the studio. I think I'm probably a little less excited about it than most because, while Jeff is out there beating his chest that he wrote all the songs and blah, 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 the truth is that he did. And I'm certainly not saying that Jeff's going to come back with a good album, but he did write all the good material, or the lion's share of it, and the stuff that he didn't write, DeGarmo wrote.
Yeah, well, DeGarmo, he's kind of like the Geezer Butler of that band.
Right.
Writes all the songs.
Yeah, so basically you're leaving the writing up to the players, not to the writers.
Mm-hmm.
And... I've heard some of their solo stuff that they've all done collectively away from Queensryche, and none of it's been very good.
Yeah.
Slave to the System or whatever Whip's project was.
Mm-hmm.
None of that stuff has been very good. So, I don't know, man. Hopefully it'll be good. I know it'll sound like Queensryche in the sense of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Do I expect another Operation Mindcrime or Rage for Order or something? Not especially, no. I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, do you think that since they have something to prove, that they'll pull out all the stops?
It's not that I don't think that they'll try. I have the biggest fear that it's going to sound like Queensryche Karaoke versus Queensryche.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sound too much like a band trying to sound like a band.
Right.
You know, instead of just being a band.
So you think that they'll sound more like a parody of themselves?
That's my fear. I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping upon hope that they're great.
Well, it might end up being like Accept with their new singer.
And that's the opposite end of the spectrum there, is that, you know, Accept is the band that really proved that it can be done and done better. I honestly think the last two Accept albums are better than anything else in their catalog.
Right. Very strong material.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows, dude? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. The only difference, though, with Accept is that, what's his name? The guitar player. The guitar player and Peter Baltus wrote almost all the Accept stuff.
Right. Well, fill for me, because I think we have a guest coming to the studio.
All right. There's Wolf Hoffman. That's who. We have a guest? All right. Well, while Neeley walks away, I'm just going to keep talking about the Queensryche. Because obviously with the Queensryche, you're going to have differences, and you've got a lot of guys that have proven that they can't, or they haven't proven that they can write material. Even Todd La Torre, while the guy is certainly a great vocalist and works the vocal, you know, side of Queensryche, he's not proven himself as a writer, and neither is, you know, Rockenfield or Whip or Pete Jackson or any of these guys that are still in Queensryche. So it could work. It could not work. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, I am back, and we do have an in-studio guest.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, but I don't have a mic on him, so.
Well, it's not like he'd use it anyway.
But our the CMS legal team has now walked in the door.
Excellent. As soon as we start talking about Crimson Glory, we got to get the legal team in.
Sure.
Is that how this works? God damn it! I said midnight once, and all of a sudden we got to have the legal assist here.
Well, also we're going to have to find out if this version of Queensryche can legally release something new under the Queensryche name,
and if we can say one version is the good Queensryche or not.
Right.
You know.
So we'll have to consult him.
Yes, definitely.
Nice. All right. So anyway, the saga continues.
It does, man. I mean, it should be interesting to see where it goes. Like I said before, I'm a little less. Most people are just like, "Oh, this is going to be great, dude. It's going to sound like the EP and Warning and all." And I'm apprehensive, man. I want to hear it before I even try to cast a vote.
Sure.
You know, because it's going to be hard to beat. Everybody's trying to say it's the new Operation Mindcrime. Well, it's going to be real hard to get to that level.
Well, I'm not optimistic enough to think that the new material is going to be on par with their classic catalog.
Right.
But having heard some of the YouTube video stuff of their live performance, I would say that Todd doing the old Queensryche catalog is going to be pretty phenomenal.
I think it'll be good. And I'll tell you, as far as new product goes, I'll make this statement right now. I will be first in line to illegally download it.
Good for you.
There we go. There's my statement.
Tim James will be so proud.
Yeah, he'll write a song about me.
Right.
Chris stole the music from me.
Yeah.
People didn't like Tim too much in the chat.
Well, you know what? I'm going to give the guy a fair shake. He's a fan. He calls all the way from Australia twice in a show.
Is that some kind of a joke since he has CP? A shake joke?
No, that's your interpretation.
Oh, I'm just trying to follow along with the show.
Right. All right. Well, speaking of legal stuff.
Yes.
Apparently, a judge dismissed Axl Rose lawsuit against Activision.
Yeah. Axl's a fucking douchebag, man.
Now, how much involvement do you think that Axl personally has when it comes to these type of lawsuits?
I honestly think in this lawsuit in particular, it's all driven by him and not his legal team.
You think?
Yep, I do. You don't know anything about the suit, do you?
Well, I'm going to read it here.
All right.
According to the San Marino Tribune, Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Charles Palmer has dismissed what remained of Guns N' Roses singer Axl Rose lawsuit against the video game giant Activision. I didn't even know they were still under that banner, Activision.
That's probably the parent company.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Sure.
Rose sued the company in November of 2010, claiming that it used an image of former Guns N' Roses Slash in Guitar Hero 3, after promising him that the game would not feature any reference to Rose's ex-bandmates. Rose claimed that was a condition of him agreeing to license the song Welcome to the Jungle for use in the game.
You don't think that came directly from Axl?
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
But that has to come from him. That's not his lawyers giving a shit.
That's just nitpicking.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want anything that makes Slash look like he's part of this band.
Yeah, man, you can feature Bumble.
Yeah, right. Palmer heard more than 2 hours of arguments on January 31st concerning the lawsuit contract claims before taking the case under submission. On Thursday, February 7th, he affirmed his tentative ruling and tossed out the remaining cause of action.
There you go.
So he said, "You're an idiot, Axl. Get out of my courtroom."
Yeah, kind of like that judge with that girl this week. Did you see that video?
Oh, yeah, about that girl flipping off the judge, and he gave her 30 days.
I couldn't have been more happy.
And he raised her bail on top of that.
Yeah, to like 10 grand or something.
Right.
The best in that video, I don't know if you really watched it real close. She's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
The judge says, "Do you have jewelry?" Because she was complaining about the bail. And the judge said, "How much is that jewelry worth?" And her answer was, "Rick Ross."
Rick Ross?
Rick Ross.
Nice.
Answer was her jewelry was worth the same as some fucking stupid fucking rapper.
Right.
What a dumb cunt.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, I saw the judge, give her, raise her bail and sentence her to 30 days.
I loved it. I was applauding. Good, you stupid whore. Stop acting like you're bigger than the courtroom, you dummy.
Right.
But I hate the judges, too, when I've had to go to court, and I still, yes, Your Honor, no, Your Honor, thank you, Your Honor. Why? Because you play the game.
Right.
It's that simple.
Sure. All right. For more music news for Texas Born and Bred.
Yes, Texas. Are you getting enough of this there, T?
Right.
TB?
Vivian Campbell, he says, "I feel we're entitled to go out and play early Dio material."
Yeah. Speaking of douchebags.
Well, I like the whole thing. I feel we're entitled to do it.
Yeah, he's entitled. This asshole that fucking did nothing but bash on Dio for the last 20 years. Ugh, hate him.
Yep. You mean, and it's not like Vivian Campbell needs the money.
No, because he's probably made more money being the hack in Def Leppard.
Right. But for whatever reason, he feels he needs to go out and keep the Dio name alive.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in seeing?
Not at all. I don't even have any interest in seeing Tim's version of the Dio Disciples.
Me either.
And I like Tim.
I mean, Tim's a good friend. I mean, I literally talked to Tim this week about finally getting down there to see some Beyond Fear and check that out. Love Tim to death. Don't want to see the Disciples.
Yeah, if somebody told me, outside of saying I want to go hook up with Tim after the show or something, if somebody said Tim is playing Dio Disciples, over here in Chicago or something, I would go, I'm busy that night.
I didn't go. When it was here, I didn't go. And I'm a big Little Angels fan with Toby Jepson was in the band. Was here and I didn't go. Just didn't have an interest in seeing other guys singing Dio songs. I did just like that Yorn album.
Right.
Yorn did that album. I listened to it once, went right to the scrap heap.
I did like the little tribute song that he did, though.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of clever.
It's the song for Ronnie James.
Yeah, I thought it was clever.
Hated it.
I know you hated it.
Hated it.
But it was a nice tribute, though.
Oh, it was spectacular.
Well, it came out, what was it, only like a week?
Yeah, which means it was written before.
It was like he was writing it while he was on his deathbed.
Yeah, or it was just coincidence that he fucking used it as a marketing ploy.
Right.
That's what it was. It was coincidence that worked for him.
Picking the bones of the dead.
Yes. Horrible.
All right. Well, speaking of other douchebags.
Yes.
Bret Michaels. New version of Every Rose available for streaming.
Oh, do we want to hear that?
Because the old one, there was still something to be to be gained.
How much do you want to bet that the reason that there's the new one is because it's done without the band so that he can fucking not pay?
You're right. The new one probably is done by him solo.
Right.
And he doesn't owe the record label or his other bandmates in Poison any money if and when it gets used in other places.
And the truth of it is with the way that this fucking homo has branded himself as Bret Michaels now, people will buy this version.
Sure.
Like car companies or whatever would buy this version instead of the Poison version.
Right.
Sickening.
But hasn't he whipped this song to death? Because every time he makes an appearance like on Ellen or, when Oprah was on the air or The View or whatever other gay talk show he comes on in the morning,
right,
he plays that song.
Well, that's his legacy.
I know, but, after a while, it's just like, okay, do you have any more songs, Brett? How about You Want It?
You want it.
Gotta
back up on it.
You're right.
From the new record, Good Songs and Great Friends. Ugh!
Come on, stop being so tough on Brett.
How bad is that record going to be?
Stop being so tough on Brett.
Have you heard the track list on this thing?
I was just reading it, actually.
I can't wait personally to hear the App song. He's singing songs about fucking phone apps.
Well, again, here, this is another cover song, even though he's covering all his own material.
Yeah. Well, no, he's doing other people's too, like
but there's a lot of songs on there that are Poison songs too.
Oh yeah. Well, I see that the song Rain made another
appearance. I know, because that's so good. It's just as good as Motley Crue Brandon.
That would be the third time he's tried to do Rain, and nobody's cared either the first two times, so nobody's going to care this time either.
Right.
What a dummy.
But he covers Every Rose.
Right.
Talk Dirty to Me.
All right. Nothing but a good time.
Right. Unskinny Bop.
Right.
Because that's an important tune.
Yeah, sure is. Talk Dirty.
Right.
Yeah, this whole thing just looks awful.
So once again, it's just a bunch of hack songs redone.
Yep.
I don't get it.
Well, at least when you buy this album, you do get that you want it.
Well,
you want it.
You want it.
Fucking terrible.
So anyway,
are you gonna play it?
Sure.
Let's hear some, dude. I mean, you can't talk it up and not play it.
Well, I know it's a big favorite in the chat room.
Of course, dude. The fans. Maybe you don't have the chat room open. They are begging you to play it.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Are you ready for this? 1 2 3. You know you want it. You know you want it. You know you get it, so you got it, so you flaunt it. Back up on it. You know you want it. You know you want it. You know you get it, so you got it, so you flaunt it. Back up on it. You like this party? You're dressed to kill. You know you own it in them 6-inch heels.
Fucking terrible. Oh, God. I love it.
Love it.
You got them lips, I wanna kiss. I get your message when you dress like this. You know you want it, you know you want it. You know you get it, so you got it, so you flaunt it. Back up on it, you know you want it.
Fred's over there tapping his foot.
He loves it, faggot.
Damn. So
you know you want it.
Yeah, nice.
Is that him singing through that fucking duck face that he always makes?
Yeah, that pouty lips.
You know you want it.
That's or as MOL said last week, his trout lip.
His trout lip.
His trout lip. So anyway, Bret Michaels got a cover CD coming out. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, can't wait for that one.
I can't wait not to buy that.
Yeah, well, we'll get it for free.
Of course.
I can't wait to debut it here on the show. Are you kidding me? You know it's going to be worthy of the show.
Sure.
Horrible.
It is horrible.
Just disgusting.
Let me see here. I got a message here. Let's see what this message has to say.
All right.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. I've been listening to the show for a while, but there's one tune I haven't heard on your guys' station that I'd love to hear. It's called Trouble by Taylor Swift. I'll hang up and listen for the song. Thanks.
Nice.
Wonder who that was.
They're clearly listening.
Yeah. We know who that was.
Who was it?
I'll give you one guess.
Sitting on the couch next to you?
It could be.
And for some Taylor Swift. Dude, is she hot or not?
You know what? I haven't seen her recently. Let me get a picture of her. I'm gonna Google her real quick, and I'll give you my assessment.
And I'll pull up Angel of Death on my phone.
Well, that's kind of where I was gonna go. I said, I'm going to pull this up, and then I'll look at Angel of Death.
Yeah, and then I'll pull something else up.
Looking at her pictures,
yeah,
not my cup of tea.
I don't find her to be hot at all.
I mean, she's okay, but I'll take Angel of Death.
Well, now that I'm looking at Angel of Death, Jesus. Those tits. Yeah. It's not even a competition. Not even a competition. I would definitely take Angel of Death over Taylor Swift any day.
Easily.
Now, that being said, I'd have sex with Angel of Death and then tell Taylor Swift I loved her to get into her pocket.
Well, you are a whore dog, aren't you?
Dude, tits and money.
Right.
I'm still, dude, give me a rich broad and I'll fucking cut her grass.
Right.
Figuratively and literally.
I'm gonna show Fred.
Yeah.
Angel of Death.
For legal purposes. Make sure that's okay.
One of our listeners.
Photos.
Fred is like, holy shit.
Well, ask Fred make sure that it's okay that we have those photos and that he believes that we since they were forwarded to us that we are legally entitled to keep them on our phones.
I'm going to need you to send those to me for a further review.
Fred, look. We got some healthy listeners out there. Very healthy.
Look in the chat room. Fred just jizzed.
Nice.
Holy shit.
All right. So that wraps up the music news segment of the show.
Thank God. I mean, no, that's too bad.
All right.
So what do we want to talk about?
Well, I tell you what, I haven't said hello to Fred properly over here, so I'm going to play a couple tunes.
All right.
Get Mr. Fred some libation.
Right. And then let's come back and talk about me losing another girl to the CMS.
I think that would be wise.
I think that's a good topic to start with.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the new tunes folder here that you sent over.
Yes. What did I send?
You sent over Chrome Boss, Cold Steel, Flotsam and Jetsam, and Chakra.
I like the Chakra the best. Cold Steel is interesting.
All right.
People might like them and they might not like them. I'm not sure. Go with something from that. Doesn't matter what. They're self doers. The guy reached out to me, sent the record. They're trying. So are they as good as Tim James? I don't know, but they are trying. So
well, I'm going to pick something here that's kind of relevant to America pop culture.
Okay.
This one is called American Idol.
There you go.
IDLE.
Right.
So let's check out something brand new from this band, which is called
Cold Steel.
Exclusively here
On your classic metal show.